questions from the public on matters considered by council at this meeting only. Councillors undertook an oath or affirmation at the beginning of their term of office and declared to undertake the duties of the officer of councillor in the best interest of the people of the Broken Hill local government area and the city of Broken Hill, and that they will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers and authorities vested in them under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of their ability and judgment. This council meeting is being live streamed via YouTube and recorded and published via council's website. To those present in the gallery today by attending or participating in this public meeting, you are consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. The Mayor and or General Manager have the authority to pause or terminate the stream if comments or debate are considered defamatory, otherwise inappropriate for publishing. Attendees are advised that they may be subject to legal action if they engage in unlawful behaviour or commentary. We have nil, there's no apologies. No, nil apologies. We have a leave of absence. The Deputy Mayor Hickey is a leave of absent as he's out of town on council business, Murray-Darling Association conference. Councillor Turley submitted a leave of absence application as per prescribed reason and family holidays. Do we have a mover for those leave of absence? Moved Councillor Edgecombe, seconded Councillor Chandler. Any comment? All those in favour? Declared it carried unanimously. Councillor Boland for the prayer.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Almighty God, we ask you to invoke your blessings upon this council, direct and prosper our deliberations to the advancement and true welfare of the people of the council area, our state and Australia. Amen.
Thank you. Councillor Edgecombe for the acknowledgement.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we meet today, the land of the Willakali people, and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging.
Councillor Gillett. I saw you put it away. I thought I'd make you get it out. So, Councillor Gillett. Microphone.
That one. Sorry. Take two. We take time to reflect, remember and honour the over 800 miners that lost their lives and those that were crippled or maimed on the line of load. We thank the brave miners and their wives who were part of the 1919-1920 strike that lasted over 500 days and it delivered a 35-hour working week. Mining is our past and future.
Thank you. We move to the public forum. The first public forum of 15 minutes will consider submissions from the public regarding matters listed for consideration at this meeting and also general matters. Council did not receive any forum registrations. Do we have anyone that would like to address the council? Yep. If you there's just a speaker over there, and just when you speak, if you just say your name just for the record.
Hi, I'm Tracy Gorsey, Patton Street trader. Just a little concerned today about the homeless shelter out at Broken Hill, out of South Broken Hill. First time we've heard of it today. It has just raced around. Very concerned about no notice, not sure where it's going. Very concerned about the lack of infrastructure that is out the south to support something like this. Very concerned, very aware of the homeless that is in Broken Hill, not just out the south, many more, they're very minimal out the south. Very concerned about what it will do out there. Need to know a lot more information. I feel we're just kind of left a little bit blind here. I know it's only very early days, but we really need some more time and more consideration before any more movement is even for consideration into this. So we've got businesses, homes, like they do everywhere else. But once you get the homeless people out there, how are they going to get back to wherever they are? Was it then it's going to be a dumping zone out the south for homeless people, which is a terrible thing to say. But we need help with the homeless people in Broken Hill in the situation. I recognise and understand that. I'm up very early in the morning, and what I see early in the morning is not good in the main area of town. How are we going to cope with that out the south? Please give us some more information before any decision can be taken further, because there's not enough of us even here to be able to get really what's happening. Please help us.
Look, I'm happy to answer your question, and it'll probably remove a lot of the fears that you may have. So the report that's before council was a request from Feeding Friends to just simply ask, does council have any land? So what the recommendation there is for a report to be prepared. Council doesn't have any land out the south or almost anywhere else in the city. But just besides that, because that sort of doesn't affect at all. The reality is, if there was any homeless encampment put to anywhere in the city, there'd be extensive public consultation, whether that is out the south or anywhere else. A homeless encampment in residential areas has a significant impact on the residential landscape itself. It also has a considerable impact on the Broken Hill community as a whole. So it wouldn't be simply about around consultation with the people that may be directly affected, which would be the residents close by, but it would also be really a city-wide consultation. And that includes, of course, not just consultation with residents, but also consultation with government departments, people that know best about homeless and the best way to address it. This is a proposal, and we all understand proposals, and people want to do the best they can for what people see as less fortunate than everyone else. But that doesn't mean that council endorse it or the community endorse it. Council has a lot more strict regulations than what someone that has put in, Feeding Friends, who has put in a request to council simply to ask for, is land available? It would then require a development application, and that development application, no matter where they found land, would be extensive. So even though this report, there isn't any land, that doesn't stop them looking for private land anywhere and putting that proposal to council. And like any development application, it's then based on its merits, and it would be extensive public consultation, because just as you concerned, and I've read the same Facebook messages so I realise the amount of concern that people would have around town simply for it even being mentioned. Bella, know if we ever got to the point where a development application was put in with those proposals, if there would be significant public consultation, not only significant public consultation, significant amount of information that would be required to make sure that it was the right way to go. It would look at things to make sure how would those services be gotten to. You'd have to have bus services if it was anywhere other than. So that it's a long way off of that, and it would not be council that's doing this. It would have to be someone that was actually putting in a development application.
Very much.
No worries. Is there any other speakers? No, thank you. Minutes of the ordinary meeting of the council of the City of Broken Hill held not 29th of July 2026 be confirmed. Do we have a mover for that? Move councillor Allgate, seconded councillor Chandler. Councillor Allgate, would you have any?
No, they're fine, as far as I'm concerned.
Any other comments? No. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Disclosures of interest. Do we have any disclosures of interest?
Just one from me, Mr. Mayor. In relation to report number 2116/26 of the Infrastructure and Environment Committee. The reason is I'm employed by the Far West Local Health District, who's mentioned in that. So it's a non-pecuniary conflict of interest, and I'll leave the chamber.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other conflicts of interest? No. Mayoral minute. There is a confidential mayoral minute. We'll consider that in confidential session, so we'll wait till the end of the meeting. We have nil notices of motion, nil notices of rescission, nil reports from delegates. Committee reports. Infrastructure and Environment Committee is the first report. It's item number 1 is the request for use of council-owned land to establish a transitional camp for homeless people. Do we have a move for that?
Move the recommendation.
Move councillor Allgate, seconded. Councillor Gillett, Councillor Allgate, you'd like to speak to that?
Only to say that you've covered the question adequately, I think. When we discussed it at a previous level, we were all very concerned about the potential problem that existed. It's like moving what some people would perceive as moving a problem from one place to another place. It's still a problem. And I think the council, as you well described, will handle it appropriately.
Yes, any other comments? No, look, the reality is council doesn't have land, and that's as simple as that. So this report will come back and it'll come back that council doesn't have any land. The people need to also understand that the people that have put in the request to council can buy private land. Whether council allows it or the community is supportive of that is a separate thing. Some of the areas, a lot of homeless people would not like to live together. So there's a lot of issues, but I do understand from the point of view of Feeding Friends. So Feeding Friends, I notice does what they can around the town for people that are homeless, but also people that may be unfortunate and need help with the cost of food. At the moment, they're across the road from the Tourism Information Centre. So I suppose their request in the council was just highlighting the fact that at some stage, authorities in charge of homeless need to do what they can to make sure homeless people in Broken Hill get the services they need so they can go back into homes. Let's face it, the best thing that can happen for homeless people in Broken Hill is to make sure that they get good accommodation. They have the same benefits and opportunities as everyone else. I do understand that when you have cold winter days, you'd think that it would be much nicer to have some sort of shelter and some sort of opportunity to make sure people have access to toilets and showers. But so I completely understand where Feeding Friends are coming from. The report will be done. It'll come back that there's no land. From a council's perspective, we need to make sure that the state and federal governments do whatever they can for homeless people in Broken Hill. Thank you. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 2, the minutes of the Local Transport Forum held on Tuesday, 4th of August. Move Councillor Allgate, second. Oh, this is the one you've got yeah, no worries. Got a seconder for that? Councillor Boland. Councillor Allgate.
Well, thanks, Mayor Kennedy. I think the reason one councillor left is the fact that there was an application for also an application for a pram parking space in Thomas Street adjacent to the hospital, and the forum couldn't support that because there's no such thing as a dedicated parking space for a pram. It was suggested and put in the hands of the technical services people to contact the Far West Local Health Service to see if they can accommodate provisions for prams if it's actually necessary. As normally is the case, the committee or the forum dealt with parking issues, but the things of more concern or more importance perhaps of the council's expression of concern about the condition of William Street, particularly the approach to the roundabout from William to Brookfield Avenue, where that the difference in the road surface between the concrete and the bitumen is a real hump. But apart from that, there are other areas in William Street, in particular the section between McCulloch and Brazil, I think it is. There's a section there that where almost half the surface of one side of the road is breaking up, and after this rain, it's going to, deteriorate more. So it really the street needs to be looked at in total. It is the highway, and it's the responsibility of the roads people. I know the mayor has written to the Minister for Roads and Transport for New South Wales, and I suppose we should wait on any decisions from them. But I think they're in the same boat as most other government authorities. There's not an abundance of money around, but nevertheless, these things have to be done, and we have to make sure that they're done. Apart from that, there's the ongoing problem of concern about our school children crossing Wilson and Boardman, crossing at the Wilson and Boardman Street intersections, the pedestrian crossings there. The council's plan is to look at both of those intersections, and if there's a need to install increased warning signs or flashing lights or whatever, and to tidy up those areas to make sure people can see that they're actually marked pedestrian crossings. And the police have also said that they're aware of the fact that the volume of traffic going down there is sometimes well above the speed limit, and that can be a bit of a problem. And at certain times of the day, they're going to peruse that area or patrol that area. I think the only other thing was that the permanent parking for the food vendors at the recent Monday Light Fest in Chloride Street, where the decision was changed to allow them to stay there permanently. That worked out to be very, very good. There were no problems with the public at all, so that was a good thing. And finally, one of the long-term members of the representative Motor Transport for New South Wales, David Vant, will attend the next meeting in September, and then he's retiring. He will bring with him a replacement, but I think it's going to be a loss to the forum, because David Vant's a very experienced operator and well recognised within the motor transport department, and he's going to be a big loss to us. And let's hope the newcomer will be equally as good. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Gate. Any other comments? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Has just passed as written, Councillor Edgecombe. Corporate and Community Development Committee, item 1, draft privacy management plan for public exhibitions on page 51
Move that way.
of the business paper.
Second.
Move Councillor Boland, second Councillor Allgate. Councillor Boland.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. I've referenced that it's the draft privacy management plan to go out to public exhibition. I believe this is an important piece of policy, and I hope we get some feedback from the public. I think data privacy and data management is very important in the current environment. Certainly as an Origin Energy customer, I know it is, with the amount of emails I've got, and this policy really outlines how the information's used, how the privacy is maintained, what can be collected. There's new legislation since 2020 around closed circuit television or CCTV data breaches, who needs to be reported. You've got the overview of the privacy, the Australian Privacy Commissioner, I think their name is, or something along those lines. So I think it's an important policy and something I hope people actually take the time to have a look at, because privacy in this digital AI era is becoming more and more important. And it's good to see that policy is written so our community knows exactly what happens with the data, and that we take their privacy very, very seriously.
Thank you, Councillor Boland. Any other councillors? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 2 is a temporary suspension of a portion of the Central Business District alcohol-free zone beyond the Dust Street Festival on October 17, 2026 on page 105.
Move the recommendation.
Councillor Allgate, seconded Councillor Chandler, Councillor Allgate.
Well, this is a common sense decision. The recommendations are quite specific, and there's 7 of them. It's a common sense decision to make sure that whilst there is alcohol available, it's policed in the right manner, and the prohibition is lifted for that short time. As a council, we have to do everything we can to ensure that the function the Beyond the Dust Festival, which was a tremendous success on the last occasion, we need to make sure it continues to be a success. And this is one way towards doing that.
Thank you, Councillor Allgate. Any other councillor? Look, without a doubt, the Beyond Dust Street Festival was a success last year, but all the street festivals we have held have been a success. So all we can do as a council to make sure that we continue to make sure that that is successful. The more vibrant Broken Hill appears and is, and that builds that confidence and makes people want to live here in Broken Hill. So I couldn't be more supportive. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 3 is the minutes of the Section 355 Memorial Over Committee meeting held 7th of July on page 110. Move Councillor Edgecombe.
Yep.
Yep, seconded. Councillor Boland, Councillor Edgecombe.
The committee is doing well. We recently had a resignation from the committee of Neville Hill. I just want to thank him for everything he's done for the committee while he was on it. We've had more NRL bookings. We've got the Cockies Ball and some other bookings. We've got more invoicing underway. So it's going well, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I just have a couple of questions, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Councillor Allgate.
I mentioned a committee, and I'll ask the same question again tonight. The problem with the lighting and the electricity account, can the general manager or somebody outline what action is proposed to rectify that problem? And the second question I have is that in a report previous, there was mention of a backlog of invoices that weren't being paid, which would help to offset some of the costs that are obviously built up at the Oval. Can I ask what's happening with them?
Yeah, happy to answer that.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. From my understanding is the invoices have been now issued to all the users of the facility. So there was a period of time there where the Section 355 committee hadn't made invoices from about 2020 onwards, which came to council staff attention late last year and will be subject to a further report with a full audit and a way forward for the committee as per the, I think it was a May resolution. So those invoices have gone out from the committee. That restitution of funds will begin to occur. The power is one in the same in regards to those invoices not being issued. They've now been issued as well. Some of them are quite substantial, so there's going to be a bit of a time delay in regards to the Section 355 committee receiving those funds back in from those organisations. However, council has paid those invoices in the interim and will seek reimbursement from the committee at such a point in time when it becomes financial to do so. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, General Manager.
Thank you.
I suppose Councillor Edgecombe, do you have anything that you'd like to add to as being part of that committee? Any further comment, I suppose?
I just think keeping on top of issuing invoices is essential. The fact that for a while there wasn't happening is very intense. So now I think keeping a regular issuing of invoices so that they can be paid and we can continue to have funds coming back into the committee is very important, as the Mr. General Manager just said. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Could I just make a comment?
Yes, Councillor Allgate.
I realise Councillor Edgecombe is the new chairman and he can't be responsible for what's happened, but it begs the question why 6 years of invoices have just been ignored. Yeah, that really, for a 355 committee of council, it's fundamentally wrong.
Yeah, look, it's important that it is right. I suppose, how has the committee themselves coped with that Are they all keen now to work?
I just want to start with saying I agree with Councillor Allgate. I think the fact that there wasn't an issuing of invoices for that long is, I echo what you're saying. And I think the committee is, obviously everyone in the committee, they all have busy lives and stuff. But I think at the meeting, we've all sat down, we've discussed it, we understand the importance of making sure that there's a regular flow of issuing of invoices. But I have said at the committee meetings, if anyone feels like they need extra support from other people, we need to lean on each other for support. And I just want to say thank you so much for the council staff, because they are absolutely brilliant at assisting the committee. So I just want to say that through you, Mr. Mayor, to the General Manager.
Thank you. Any other comments? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 1 of the Finance and Governance Committee, Local Government Remuneration Tribunal 2027 Annual Review. It's on page 120 of the business paper. We have a mover for that.
Move that resolution.
Move councillor Allgate, seconded councillor Page. Councillor Allgate.
I was disappointed to read the report. It's a lengthy report, and quite surprised when I got down to page 176, I think it was, to find out that the powers to be consider that Broken Hill City Council needs to be taken from its current position or category and moved to one lower. That really astounds me. It displays or demonstrates how much population counts. It seems to be that population is the controlling factor in the whole exercise. Apart from population, this council meets all of the requirements as far as I'm concerned. We have all the local government or the government authorities. We have the police, the fire brigade, the state office block, Western Lands, and all the rest of it. We have hospitals. We have the University Department of Rural Health at the hospital. We've got the two, the Robinson College and the Country University down in Crystal Street. We've got a variety of businesses of all different types, mining, industrial. And not only that, we are the hub for the Western region, far Western region, and we're looked upon as being the leaders in this area, and now we're just basically we're told that we're not anywhere near as important as we would like to think we are, and I think we are important in this area. It amazes me that isolation never comes into these things. The cost of operation for places like Broken Hill, Central Darling Shire, Wentworth Shire, and those western, extremely far western corporations, the cost of operating is much more expensive than these same organisations in the city and metropolitan areas. And if you don't live on the coastline, or if the council is not along the coastline or within 150 kilometres of the coastline, you're insignificant. And I think the council should mount a strong submission in support of what we think we are deserving of.
Thank you, councillor Allgate. Councillor Page.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it's an issue that we've spoken on many occasions, how we in the outback are not seen to be getting the services, whether it's health services, like Councillor Allgate alluded to. There's a long list of areas where we miss out. Health, you can go on and on. There's that many things that we don't get in the outback. It's just not Broken Hill. It's people in the outback, all over the outback in Australia. It's I've seen lots of media releases from other small locations. They feel the same as us. We're not treated financially the way we should be. And in regard to My family, my wife's had health issues for the last 35 years, which meant travelling to Adelaide. Lately, she's had 2 operations on her hands, travelling to Mildura. That's unacceptable. A lot of these people in the outback have families. They can't go away for long extended time periods. We should have a better, and I'm not criticising the health department in Broken Hill because I think they do a good job with the amount of funding they get. But we've suffered in the outback in regard to these areas for a long, long time, and it's only going to make it harder for the younger generation to join this council. They have to feed the family and they have cost, and for younger people to join the council or live in the outback, you can't put them on a financial stress course, because that's where we're ending up now. People in the outback have to travel. It's huge cost. Everything associated with living in a small town is more than what it is along the coastline. So you've got politicians now, and I don't bother saying our politicians for the last 50 years have been our worst enemies. Our politicians don't do enough for the people in the outback. Along the coastline where the votes are, yes, they'll bend and sway to any organisation to give them the votes that they need. In the outback, we haven't got a huge vote base in the outback. Doesn't matter what part of the outback. So that's why they treat us so poorly. And I support everything that Councillor Allgate. I know he's experienced things in his family, which has made it tough on him and his family in regard to aged care. You can go on and on. The list is long, and it's time this council spoke up with a loud voice to say enough's enough, and we want you to start treating us with a bit of respect. They spend billions of dollars all around the world, and whether it's aged care and all these other things, the youth, the mental illness now, it doesn't matter where you are, that's a big issue and growing, and we seem to miss out on everything, Mr Mayor, and the people I speak to, they've had enough. So if people are not going to, politicians, when I say people, the politicians are not prepared to listen to us, well, at election time, we kick them out and put someone else in there that will. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, councillor Page. Councillor Boland.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. I think, and I agree with both Councillor Allgate and Page's comments about Macquarie Street. And I probably don't even know where Broken Hill is. I often tell them, don't fly, drive. I'll take you, I'll drive you. You can sit in the car with me for 14 hours. We'll have a great time. But I digress. I think Broken Hill's case has never been about the population. It makes up one part of it, but we are the geological, I can't pronounce it, it's too late in the day, centre of the far west, and with isolation and everything we have to service the rest of we have to service unincorporated New South Wales. We've got Central Darling Shire next door, and this is what the committee or the department calls on. And I would say, reviewing page 177, 78, are they using Broken Hill as an excuse when they knocked back the Murray River Council, who sought to be recognised as regional rural? And I make reference to their comment on 178, where they say, despite this, the tribunal has concluded this submission cannot be accepted. Population is an important aspect of this categorisation system and cannot be routinely overlooked. So they're using Broken Hill as an excuse to knock back Murray River. Now, I know Moama well. It's part of my zone for the Club Managers Association. Across the border, you've got massive Victorian population centres. You've got towns right along there. You've got councils within stone throws of each other. They help each other out. Out here, we're remote, we're regional. We've got an airport, large health centre, childcare centres, nursing homes, everything. So I think where we sit is perfect, and population cannot be the only thing. But obviously in Sydney, that's what they look at. That's the be end and end all, and it's ridiculous. It's about time they come out and have a look how difficult it is in regional New South Wales.
Thank you, councillor Boland. Any other speakers? I think you'll find that it's probably just an attack on Broken Hills. As simple as that. I think This is about saying, get back in your box. If you're going to start bringing up about uranium mines and everything else and try and put the pressure on the state government, they're going to make us pay. That's what I get from that. And there probably needs to be correspondence saying your threats mean little to us. We've got 3,000 extra people that are in unincorporated areas, Central Darling councils that come into Broken Hill using Broken Hill at any time. If you had Broken Hill's population at any time, you're well above 20,000 people. So to use the population doesn't cut any weight either. We also have hundreds of employees that fly into Broken Hill. So we have a much bigger population than what is in the census or in the Australian Bureau of Statistics. We also have thousands of tourists at any one time. We had 15,000 last week. Come out there then. Come and have a look here. Whoever wrote the report, come and have a look how many people were in Broken Hill last week. This is an attack on Broken Hill, not just Regional Australia Council page. It's an attack on Broken Hill, and it's about you won't have a council that sticks their head up too high because it'll get chopped off. That's what this is about. It's about downgrading Broken Hill's role in the whole of the far west of New South Wales. They know that Broken Hill leads from the front in far west New South Wales, and this is about chopping the head off of the person that are leading regional New South Wales Councillor Page. So it goes beyond just their lack of empathy, lack of motivation, lack of any knowledge about regional New South Wales, and they need to either adjust this or come out and deal with the people of Broken Hill and let them know exactly why they think Broken Hill is no longer as important as it was this year for next year.
Can I make a comment?
Yes,
Mr. Mayor?
Councillor Allgate.
I think we should write to the Minister for Local Government specifically.
If
to,
you'd like to add that,
Yeah, I would. That
Yep.
we write to the Minister Honig and we put our case to him.
Yep.
Invite him to Broken Hill if he need to be more familiarised. He's been here several times, and I think he's a great person, but I think he's the person that has to be convinced, and we should start with him.
yep, seconder, happy with that? Yep.
Mr Mayor, can I add that we invite the Premier to come with the Minister?
Yep, you can add the Premier.
Thank you.
He's not coming out to Western Division, so we might be able to get him here for something else. But our local government minister is, I believe, coming. He is a great advocate for regional New South Wales, a great advocate for Broken Hill, and I would gladly put the local government minister, Ron Honig, at the highest of the local government, at the highest of any politician in New South Wales. All those in favour, carried unanimously. Item number 2, the draft annual financial statements for July on page 209 of the business paper.
That way.
Move Councillor Boland, seconded Councillor Allgate. Councillor Boland.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. A good result for the year. It's been a very difficult year this year, but the council continues to maintain expenses well. I mean, expenses were up a little bit, but they were up everywhere a little bit. When you look at the costs, I look at the projects being delivered on time, on budget. It's been very good. Borrowings versus cash flow is very strong and it's heading in the right direction. The term deposits, the interest rates have increased, but the main thing I want to bring attention to is that, yes, the expenses are up, but they are very, very, very well controlled. And I think we see that with the rate increases that stick to the rate pegging year after year after year, when some councils across the state are looking for 70, 80, 90, 100% increases above the rate pegging. That's what happens when your expenses are out of control, and that's just not happening at this council. So it's been a tough year, particularly the last half of the year has been tough economically. So this is a good result, and it shows that council's heading in the right directions, delivering projects, delivering them on budgets, controlling expenses. And when you're doing all that, you can control your increases in costs onto your ratepayers through residential rates, business rates that employ people. So as I said, very good result.
Thank you, councillor Boland. Councillor Page?
Yes, Mr Mayor, I've read the report and the amount of dollars in the carryovers. How does that compare to last budget?
Yeah, improved a fair bit, but councillor, general manager? Oh, it's next report.
Next report.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr Mayor.
All those in favour? Carried unanimously. It's in the budget, councillor Page, on item 3. Item 3, budget carryovers for 2025-26 on page 216. Happy to move that, councillor Page?
Yeah, I read the carryovers, Mr Mayor.
Yeah, I know. Councillor Page, councillor seconded. Councillor Boland, councillor Page. Now you ask the question through to the general manager.
Thank you, through you, Mr Mayor. Significantly lower than what they were last year. So last year's carryovers were $30+ million, and that was due to the carryover of funds for the library project and the Warnock Street Garage project, along with our airport project. So with those projects mostly or complete and mostly complete as of 30th of June this year, our carryovers have reduced significantly. So all the projects there of that $5.7 million that are carried over, they've all commenced and are well processed, looking for completion in this half of the financial year. So a good improvement from last year's carryovers. Thanks, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments, councillor Boland? I know you like to.
No comments. I think it was all, well covered, but yeah, delays in projects in the current environment are unfortunately
Thank you.
unavoidable.
All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 4, the investment report for July 2026 on page 223. Oh, dated August or July on page 223.
Move that way.
Move councillor Boland, seconded councillor Allgate. Councillor Boland.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Again, well maintained in tough environment, and you can see that in investment performance, but it is good to be seeing interest rates up around 5%, which is great. Do bring notice, I think it's the NAB, we're just over our allocation there, but that will be corrected as written in the report when that one of the term deposits mature. So that'll be the portfolio will be re-rated on that. Maybe I should add a cup of coffee before I come in tonight. But yeah, again, good report. Everything is in order. Very happy to see those term deposits at 5% interest rate. They're solid investments and a safe place to put the city's money in the particularly in the current environment. Maybe not if you're a mortgage payer with the interest rates, because there may be another increase coming next month because that inflation is not under control yet, but we'll see it with a little bit more higher interest on the term deposits.
Thank you, councillor Boland. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. We move to further reports. Correspondence, advocacy support for the Regional Banking Investment Alliance campaign to keep face-to-face banking alive on page 240. We have a mover for that. Move councillor Allgate, seconded councillor Page. Councillor Allgate.
Nothing much to say, except that it's good to know that there have been some positive results that have occurred as a result of the correspondence we sent to various people over a period of time when it was rumoured that one of the banks looked like shutting down. One of the local banks looked like shutting down, but so there's some positive moves afoot which indicate that we don't have to worry too much just at the moment.
Thank you, councillor Allgate. Any other comment? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. This is an interesting piece of correspondence. Correspondence report, condition of William Street at the Galena Street, Brookfield Avenue roundabout on page 245. Do we have a mover for that?
Move the recommendation.
Move councillor Allgate, seconded councillor Gillett. Councillor Allgate.
I think it's all been said before, Mr. Mayor, but the fault problem in the road surface as you approach that roundabout really is far from good. The Transport for New South Wales carried out some work on it, and I can't see that it's made any difference to it, to be honest. So it needs to be done properly. And if you look at the road, as I said before, if you look at the road from start to finish, there are other areas that need attention too. And that bad piece down between McCulloch and Brazil in Williams is a potential big problem.
Any other comment? I'll just briefly read it out because it is important, because it is council that continues to push from the fact that residents and community people keep on bringing up William Street and the poor condition of it. So thank you for correspondence on behalf of Councillor Tom Kennedy about the condition of the William Street roundabout at the intersection of Galena Street and Brookfield Avenue, Broken Hill. I appreciate you bringing these concerns to my attention and acknowledge that the Broken Hill City Council ongoing interest in maintenance of the important section of the Barrier Highway. Transport for New South Wales advises that the condition of William Street is monitored through weekly inspections. I don't know about that. These inspections have identified a range of pavement defects along the corridor, including potholes, pavement shoves, and areas of surface deterioration. Potholes are repaired as they are identified to prevent further deterioration, while more complex pavement defects require assessment, design, programming before permanent repairs can be undertaken. I think we might need some return correspondence to Minister Aitkinson about just how poorly maintained the William Street road is. I'm advised that Transport New South Wales is aware of the issues of William Street and Galena Street roundabout, including lifting concrete slabs. Following an engineering inspection in April 2026, it was confirmed that the section of concrete pavement in the westbound lane require removal and replacement, while the broader intersection is showing signs of age. It remains safe and operational apart from identified slab uplift. You just about lose your front end every time you drive up there. Since the inspection, the Transport for New South Wales has been developing the scope and delivery program for repairs at the location, together with the other priority pavement works along William Street, including the Bromide Street, K-Line Street and Galena Street roundabouts. These works are currently in the planning and scheduling phase. Transport for New South Wales expects repairs works at the William Street and Galena Street roundabout to commence within the next few months, subject to final programming, a contractor availability. In the meantime, the site will continue to be monitored through weekly inspections, and any deterioration that presents a safety concern will be addressed as a priority. Importantly, Transport New South Wales have advised that the current condition of the roundabout does not present immediate safety risk to road users, including cyclists. Temporary warning signs have been installed to alert motorists and cyclists to change of road conditions. Again, thank you for your time to write to me. I generally appreciate the effort of Councillor Kennedy has made to raise these matters with the government. As all would, Councillor Allgate, go.
Just to comment on the Bromide, the William Bromide roundabout, I've raised with the council as a result of being contacted by numerous residents in that area where there's been a real lump on the William Street side, on the town side of William Street as you exit the roundabout, and the cattle, the stock trucks that are going there regularly, more often at night, they hit that hump, 2 or 3 trailers, they hit that, and the steel bars and all the railings and all the rest of it rattle like hell, and people can't sleep. On each occasion I've raised it with the council. I've done the same thing. I've had to tell them that it's not a council problem. The council would like to fix it, but it's a highway and it's the responsibility of Transport New South Wales, and nothing happens. And to suggest that they have a weekly inspection is absolute bullshit.
Thank you, councillor Allgate. Any other comments? No, look, I think that it's pretty obvious that it is a bit of a safety issue considering you have cars that are now pulling either in one side or going over to the other side of the road to avoid some of the what you could sort more hazards that actually damage your car. So it may not that the hazard itself might not damage the car, but certainly trying to avoid it create some sort of safety. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 3, the minutes of the Audit and Risk and Improvement Committee meeting held 13th of August 2026 on page 249. Moved councillor Allgate, seconded councillor Boland. Councillor Allgate.
As always, it was a reasonably full-on report. There were lots of questions, some of which related to a confidential matter that's between the council and the contractor of the airport. But the general manager gave a report on that satisfied everything. It's a committee that has achieved a lot in the time that it's been formed. I enjoy going to each one of them, even though they're a little bit longer than most. But big steps have made, big inroads have been made into risk management right across the council's operation, work health and safety as well. And we see the results of all of those things, you know, in the longer term. And I think it's a good committee and a very productive one. And I'd also like to say that the general manager always gives a good presentation to that particular committee, and lots of people, the majority of the people are outside of town, and they're influential people and they hear it.
Thank you, councillor Allgate. Any other comments? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 4 is the action list report on page 261. Do we have a mover for that?
Move the report.
Move councillor Allgate, seconded. Councillor Gillett. Councillor Allgate.
No, there's a lot being done. There's a bit still to be done, but the council's got a hell of a lot on its plate, and I think overall we're doing reasonably well,
Thank
even
you.
better than reasonably well.
Thank you, councillor Allgate. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Questions on notice. Questions taken on notice from the July 2026 Ordinary Council meeting on page 293. Do we have a mover for that?
Move that way.
Move councillor Boland,
Second.
seconded councillor Allgate. Councillor Boland.
Written there. So happy with that. Got the update on the roller skating pavilion roof and also the model meeting code changes as well.
Yeah, so the roof itself has been finished at this stage. So there's some minor work still to be done, but it's pretty well almost completed. End of this week will be completely finished. So at the moment, it's just a bit of flashing and a bit of guttering to go. All those, there's no need to, all those in favour? Carried unanimously. Questions for the next meeting arising from items on the agenda. Any questions for the next meeting? No, don't need to vote on that one. Public forum. The second public forum session of 15 minutes duration will consider submissions from the public regarding matters that were considered by council at this meeting only. Speakers are allocated 2 minutes. Do we have anyone that would like to speak tonight? No. We have confidential matters. We only have one confidential matter. As per council's meeting practice, members of the public can apply to make representations to council as whether the meeting should be closed for the council to consider a particular item. In the opinion of General Manager, the item listed for consideration is closed session. This meeting is of a kind as referred to in section 10A2 of the Local Government Act. We received nil motions. Do we have a mover to go into closed session? Move councillor Gillett, seconded councillor Page. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. It shouldn't take too what was passed in confidential matters at the Merrill Minute number 7/26 dated August 18, 2026 be received. 2, that council note the view of the General Manager Performance Review Panel that the General Manager Jay Nankfu has performed at a very high level in his first year of his renewed contract of employment as General Manager of the Broken Hill City Council, and congratulates him on that performance and his leadership of the staff, and encourages him to continue to progress made in the organisation and in his personal development to ensure council's continued financial sustainability. Number 3, that the 8 priorities for the 2027 be listed in the Merrill Minute be adopted and included in the General Manager Performance Agreement for 2026-27, noting that the General Manager will develop an action plan for submission to the Mayor and the Deputy Mayor to outline the actions to be taken to address the 8 priorities so progress can be reviewed in February 2027. That the General Manager's total remuneration package be increased by 4% to recognise a high performance in accordance with clause 8.3 of the contract of employment, and to align with the same increase granted to all staff under the local Broken Hill Consent Award. Thank you. The report, conclusion. As there is no further business for council to consider, I declare the ordinary council meeting closed at